Welcome back to the channel The Coin Empire. Today we are diving into one of the most fascinating coin collecting mysteries imaginable, a story centered around a 1978 Lincoln 1-cent coin and the incredible possibilities that can transform an ordinary pocket change coin into a collector's dream. Imagine reaching into an old jar of coins, a forgotten piggy bank, or a dusty collection inherited from a family member and discovering a coin that appears completely ordinary at first glance. Most people would never think twice about a 1978 penny because millions upon millions of them were produced and circulated throughout the United States. Yet experienced collectors know that sometimes the most ordinary-looking coins can hide extraordinary secrets. The world of coin collecting is filled with stories of rare minting mistakes, production anomalies, and unexpected discoveries that have stunned experts and transformed seemingly common coins into prized collectibles worth astonishing amounts of money. The excitement comes from the possibility that a single overlooked detail could separate a coin worth 1 cent from a coin worth thousands, tens of thousands, or even far more in the eyes of dedicated collectors. When discussing a hypothetical 1978 penny that could command an extraordinary value, collectors often focus on the combination of rarity, condition, historical significance, and unusual minting characteristics that make a coin stand apart from every other example known to exist. One of the first possibilities that captures attention is the presence of a dramatic double die error. A double die occurs when the design elements of a coin die receive multiple impressions during production that are slightly misaligned. When such a die strikes coins, the resulting pieces can display visible doubling on letters, numbers, and design features. Collectors spend years searching through rolls of pennies hoping to discover examples with strong and obvious doubling because genuine double die coins are among the most famous and sought-after error varieties in American numismatics. If a unique and previously unknown double die variety were discovered on a 1978 penny, especially one displaying dramatic doubling visible without magnification, excitement throughout the collecting community could be enormous. Another possibility involves an off-center strike. During the minting process, a coin blank must be properly positioned between the dies. If the blank is not correctly aligned, the design can be struck significantly off-center, creating a coin that appears unusual and visually striking. The greater the percentage of off-center design while still showing the date, the more desirable such an error can become. Collectors often compete for dramatic examples because they provide undeniable evidence of a minting mishap. A spectacular 1978 penny struck dramatically off-center and preserved in pristine condition would certainly attract significant interest. Then there are broad strikes, coins struck without the restraining collar that normally controls their shape and diameter. Broad-struck coins appear wider and flatter than normal, creating an instantly recognizable error. Such pieces demonstrate how important every stage of the minting process is and how a small mechanical issue can produce a collectible rarity. A 1978 broad-struck penny in exceptional condition could become a centerpiece in a specialized error collection. Equally fascinating are clipped planchet errors. Before coins are struck, metal strips are punched into blank discs. Occasionally the punching process overlaps, leaving part of a blank missing. The resulting coin displays a curved or irregular clip where metal was absent before striking. Authentic clipped planchets are highly collectible because they reveal a production error that occurred before the coin ever received its design. Collectors appreciate these pieces because they provide insight into the manufacturing process itself. Some of the most valuable error coins involve wrong planchet strikes. Imagine a 1978 penny accidentally struck on a blank intended for another denomination. Such a mistake could dramatically alter the coin's weight, appearance, and composition. Wrong planchet errors are among the most intriguing mint mistakes because they represent a chain of events that had to go wrong for the error to occur. If a unique 1978 penny were discovered on an unusual planchet with impeccable documentation and authentication, it could become one of the most talked about finds in the hobby. Die cracks and die breaks provide another avenue for rarity. As coin dies age, immense striking pressure can cause cracks to develop. These cracks transfer raised lines onto coins. In extreme cases, pieces of the die can break away entirely, creating dramatic raised features known as cuts. While many die cracks are minor, unusual and extensive examples often generate considerable collector interest. A one-of-a-kind 1978 penny featuring a spectacular die break unlike any other known example could become a famous variety among specialists. Collectors are also fascinated by coins exhibiting multiple errors simultaneously. A penny with doubling, an off-center strike, and a die crack all on the same coin would be far more unusual than a coin with only one of those characteristics. The rarity increases dramatically when several independent minting mistakes combine on a single piece. Such combinations create unique stories and attract attention because they represent a remarkable sequence of production failures occurring together. Condition is another crucial factor in determining value. Even the rarest error coin may lose much of its appeal if heavily worn or damaged. Coins graded at the highest levels often command enormous premiums because so few survive without signs of circulation. A 1978 penny preserved in nearly perfect condition, displaying sharp details, original mint luster, and flawless surfaces, would naturally be more desirable than a similar coin showing decades of wear. Collectors and investors alike recognize that condition rarity can be just as important as the underlying error itself. Provenance can add another layer of intrigue. A coin discovered in a famous collection or connected to a noteworthy historical event often receives additional attention. The story behind a coin can become part of its appeal. Imagine a rare 1978 error penny discovered in a sealed mint bag forgotten for decades and later authenticated by leading experts. Such a discovery narrative would only enhance collector fascination. Authentication is essential in the world of valuable coins. Extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. Professional grading services carefully examine coins to confirm authenticity and identify errors accurately. Their evaluations help establish confidence in the marketplace. Without reliable authentication, even a genuinely rare coin may struggle to achieve its full potential value because buyers need assurance that what they are purchasing is legitimate. The popularity of error coin collecting has grown tremendously over the years. Online communities, educational videos, coin shows, and auction records have introduced millions of people to the excitement of searching for unusual coins. Stories of valuable discoveries inspire collectors to examine their change more closely and learn about the minting process. Every unusual mark, misplaced design element, or unexpected feature becomes a clue that could point towards something special. This sense of possibility keeps the hobby vibrant and engaging. The 1978 penny remains an interesting date for collectors because large mintages mean examples are still encountered today, giving treasure hunters opportunities to search through old accumulations and rolls. Most 1978 pennies are worth only modest amounts, but collectors understand that hidden among ordinary coins there may occasionally be examples displaying unusual characteristics that deserve closer examination. Magnification, accurate weighing, and careful comparison with known varieties are important tools in the search for rare pieces. Market demand also plays a role in determining value. Collectors compete for items they find historically significant, visually impressive, or exceptionally rare. When multiple serious buyers pursue the same coin, prices can rise dramatically. The most valuable coins are often those that combine rarity, desirability, authenticity, and compelling stories. A hypothetical unique 1978 penny featuring a dramatic and previously unknown minting error could become the subject of intense competition among advanced collectors. The fascination surrounding valuable coins is not simply about money. It is about discovery, history, craftsmanship, and the thrill of finding something unexpected. Every coin carries a story, and error coins reveal moments when the manufacturing process produced something different from the intended design. These accidental creations become tangible reminders that even highly controlled industrial systems can occasionally generate remarkable surprises. For collectors, that possibility is what makes searching through coins so exciting. The next time you encounter a 1978 Lincoln cent, take a moment to examine it carefully. Look at the date, the lettering, the surfaces, and the overall appearance. While the odds of finding an extraordinary rarity are extremely small, the joy of the search is part of what makes coin collecting such a rewarding hobby. Somewhere, in a forgotten drawer, an old collection, or a container of spare change, there may still be unusual coins waiting to be discovered. And it is that possibility, Next, 1975 1-cent coin. Today we are exploring one of the most fascinating and mysterious coin collecting stories imaginable, a story centered around a 1975 Lincoln 1-cent coin that has sparked endless discussion among collectors, treasure hunters, and numismatic enthusiasts who dream of discovering a life-changing rarity hidden in plain sight. Imagine finding a simple penny in an old coffee can filled with spare change, a forgotten coin album tucked away in an attic, or a dusty box passed down through generations of family members. At first glance the coin appears completely ordinary, just another copper-colored cent among thousands of others, but experienced collectors know that appearances can be deceiving. Throughout the history of American coinage, some of the most extraordinary discoveries have involved coins that looked normal until a careful examination revealed rare characteristics, dramatic minting errors, unusual production mistakes, or unique combinations of features that transformed an everyday coin into an object of immense fascination. The excitement surrounding a hypothetical 1975 penny with an extraordinary value comes not from the coin's face value but from the possibility that a remarkable chain of events during the minting process created something unlike any other example known to exist. Coin collecting has always been driven by the pursuit of rarity. Whenever collectors encounter a coin that differs from the standard design in a significant and verifiable way, attention quickly follows. The 1975 Lincoln cent was produced in enormous quantities, which means most examples are common and worth only modest amounts, yet collectors understand that within large mintages there is always the possibility that unusual pieces escaped detection and entered circulation. Every coin begins as a planchet, a blank metal disc prepared for striking. If something goes wrong during this stage, the resulting coin can display characteristics that set it apart forever. One possibility that collectors often discuss involves a planchet error. A planchet intended for another denomination could theoretically find its way into the cent production line, creating a wrong planchet strike. Such coins immediately attract attention because their weight, color, dimensions, or composition differ from what collectors expect. A 1975 cent struck on an incorrect planchet would represent a fascinating mistake and would likely become a highly sought-after rarity among specialists. Another possibility involves a dramatic double die error. During die production, if multiple impressions are misaligned even slightly, the finished die may transfer visible doubling onto every coin it strikes. Strong double die errors are among the most famous varieties in American numismatics because they can be recognized by noticeable duplication in letters, dates, and design elements. Collectors spend years searching through rolls of pennies hoping to discover a significant double die that has gone unnoticed. A unique 1975 double die with extraordinary visibility and rarity would generate excitement throughout the collecting community and could become one of the most talked about discoveries of its era. Off-center strikes provide another source of fascination. Coins are supposed to be perfectly centered when struck, but if a planchet is improperly positioned, the design may appear shifted dramatically toward one side. The more dramatic the shift while still retaining a visible date, the more desirable the error often becomes. Such pieces provide unmistakable evidence that something unusual occurred during production. Collectors are drawn to these coins because they display the minting process in an unexpectedly visible way. A spectacularly off-center 1975 cent preserved in pristine condition would undoubtedly attract attention from error coin enthusiasts around the world. Die cracks and die breaks offer yet another avenue for rarity. Coin dies endure tremendous pressure during production, and over time they can develop cracks. These cracks appear on struck coins as raised lines. In extreme situations, pieces of the die may break away entirely, creating dramatic raised features known as cuts. While minor die cracks are relatively common, extensive and visually impressive examples can become highly collectible. A unique 1975 cent displaying a remarkable die break pattern unlike any other known specimen could become the centerpiece of advanced collections focused on minting anomalies. Collectors are especially intrigued by coins that exhibit multiple errors simultaneously. Imagine a 1975 penny showing a double die, an off-center strike, and a significant die crack all on the same coin. Each individual error would already be interesting, but their combination would create an entirely different level of rarity. The probability of several independent mistakes occurring together is extraordinarily low, which is why such coins command intense interest whenever they appear. The story behind the coin becomes as compelling as the coin itself because it represents a sequence of unusual events that occurred during manufacturing. Another possibility involves a broad strike. Coins are normally struck within a collar that controls their final shape and diameter. If the collar is absent or malfunctioning, the metal can spread beyond its intended boundaries during striking, creating a broad-struck coin. These pieces are instantly recognizable and highly collectible because they reveal an important part of the minting process that most people never consider. A broad-struck 1975 cent in exceptional condition would certainly stand out among ordinary examples from the same year. Clipped planchets also capture the imagination of collectors. Before coins are struck, blank discs are punched from metal strips. Occasionally these punches overlap, leaving part of a blank missing. When such a planchet is struck, the resulting coin displays a curved clip where metal was absent. Authentic clipped planchet errors are highly prized because they illustrate a mistake that occurred before the coin even reached the striking stage. Their unusual appearance makes them popular among collectors of mint errors. The concept of rarity extends beyond minting mistakes. Condition plays a crucial role in determining desirability. A coin that survives for decades without significant wear is far rarer than most people realize. Every contact mark, scratch, and sign of circulation reduces the number of top-quality examples available to collectors. A 1975 cent preserved in extraordinary condition, with blazing original luster and virtually flawless surfaces, could command substantial attention even without a dramatic error. When rarity of condition combines with rarity of production, collector demand can increase dramatically. The role of authentication cannot be overstated. Extraordinary discoveries require careful verification. Professional grading services examine coins to determine authenticity, assign condition grades, and identify genuine minting errors. Their expertise provides confidence to collectors and investors who participate in the marketplace. Without reliable authentication, even a remarkable coin may struggle to gain recognition because buyers need assurance that the piece is genuine. The history of coin collecting is filled with stories of discoveries made by ordinary individuals. Some of the most famous rarities were found in circulation, inherited collections, bank rolls, and forgotten storage containers. These stories inspire people to examine their coins more carefully because they demonstrate that important discoveries can emerge from unexpected places. The possibility that a rare 1975 cent could still be waiting to be found adds an element of adventure to the hobby. Every handful of pennies becomes an opportunity to uncover something unusual. Collectors often discuss die clashes as another source of potential rarity. A die clash occurs when the obverse and reverse dies strike each other without a planchet between them. This can transfer design elements from one die onto the other, producing unusual marks on subsequent coins. Depending on the severity and visibility of the clash, these features can become highly collectible. A dramatic die clash on a 1975 cent would attract specialists interested in unusual minting events and production anomalies. Misaligned dies create additional possibilities. If one die is not properly aligned, portions of the design may appear shifted relative to expectations. These variations can range from subtle to dramatic, and collectors often seek examples that clearly demonstrate the error. A significant misalignment on a 1975 penny could distinguish it from millions of ordinary examples and contribute to its desirability. Another fascinating category involves struck-through errors. During production, foreign material can become trapped between the die and the planchet. When the coin is struck, the material leaves an impression or missing area corresponding to its shape. Depending on the nature of the material and the visibility of the effect, struck-through errors can be extremely interesting to collectors. A dramatic struck-through example from 1975 could become a conversation piece because it provides a snapshot of an unexpected moment during manufacturing. Some collectors dream about the possibility of a unique transitional error. Transitional errors occur when a coin is struck using characteristics intended for a different production period or composition. Such mistakes are exceptionally rare because they require unusual circumstances within the minting process. A hypothetical 1975 transitional cent would likely generate next 1971 1-cent coin. Today we are diving into one of the most incredible and fascinating coin collecting mysteries ever imagined, a story that revolves around a 1971 Lincoln 1-cent coin that has become the subject of endless speculation among collectors, treasure hunters, and numismatic enthusiasts who dream of discovering a coin so rare and unusual that it could redefine everything people believe about the value of a simple penny. Imagine opening an old wooden box inherited from a grandparent, sorting through decades of accumulated pocket change, and suddenly noticing a 1971 cent that looks slightly different from all the others. At first glance it appears ordinary, just another copper coin produced during a year when millions upon millions of cents rolled out of the mint and entered circulation across the United States. Yet history has repeatedly shown that some of the most valuable collectibles began as ordinary objects hiding extraordinary secrets. In the world of coin collecting, rarity is born from unusual circumstances, and sometimes a combination of minting mistakes, production anomalies, preservation, and historical significance can transform a coin from a common piece of change into a legendary treasure sought by collectors around the world. The fascination with a hypothetical ultra-valuable 1971 penny begins with the possibility that something unprecedented occurred during its creation. Every coin starts its life as a planchet, a carefully prepared metal blank designed to receive the coin's image under immense striking pressure. The minting process is highly controlled, yet no manufacturing system is completely immune to mistakes. Over the years collectors have discovered coins struck on incorrect planchets, coins displaying double designs, coins with dramatic off-center strikes, coins showing die breaks, and even coins with combinations of errors so unusual that experts initially struggled to explain them. The possibility that a unique 1971 cent might combine several extraordinary characteristics is what fuels collector imagination and keeps the hunt alive generation after generation. One of the most famous categories of coin errors is the double die variety. A double die occurs during the die manufacturing process when the design is impressed into the die more than once at slightly different angles or positions. The resulting die transfers visible doubling to every coin it strikes. Strong examples can show dramatic duplication of letters, numbers, and design features. Collectors spend years searching through rolls and collections hoping to find major double die varieties because such discoveries can become legendary within the hobby. A hypothetical 1971 cent displaying exceptionally strong and previously unknown doubling could instantly become one of the most discussed coins in numismatic circles. Imagine lettering so clearly doubled that it can be recognized without magnification, combined with razor-sharp preservation and impeccable authenticity. Such a coin would capture the attention of collectors worldwide. Another possibility involves a dramatic off-center strike. During production, planchets must be perfectly aligned between the dies. If a blank shifts out of position before being struck, only part of the design appears on the finished coin. Off-center strikes vary in severity, but collectors generally prefer examples where the date remains visible while a substantial portion of the design is missing. The visual impact of such an error makes it instantly recognizable even to non-collectors. A spectacular 1971 cent struck dramatically off-center while retaining critical identifying details could become a centerpiece in any major era collection. The appeal of such a piece lies not only in its rarity but also in its ability to visibly demonstrate the minting process gone wrong. Wrong planchet errors represent another source of extraordinary rarity. Every denomination is intended to be struck on a specific type of blank, but occasionally a planchet from another denomination enters the wrong production line. When this happens, the resulting coin may have an unusual size, weight, thickness, or appearance. Wrong planchet errors are among the most fascinating mint mistakes because they require multiple stages of quality control to fail before the coin can escape into circulation. A 1971 cent struck on an unexpected planchet and preserved in exceptional condition would undoubtedly attract intense interest from advanced collectors. The rarity of such an event combined with the intrigue surrounding its origin would make the coin a topic of ongoing discussion and study. Die cracks and die breaks add another layer of excitement. Coin dies are subjected to enormous pressure during production. Over time microscopic fractures can develop, eventually becoming visible cracks. These imperfections appear on struck coins as raised lines because the cracks in the die fill with metal during striking. In extreme cases, portions of a die may break away entirely, creating large raised areas known as cuts. While minor die cracks are relatively common, dramatic examples can be highly collectible. A unique 1971 cent featuring an unusually extensive die break pattern could become famous among specialists because it would document a remarkable moment in the life of a working die. Some collectors focus on die clashes, another fascinating category of error. A die clash occurs when the obverse and reverse dies strike each other without a planchet between them. This accidental contact can transfer design elements from one die onto the other, leaving unusual impressions on subsequent coins. Strong die clashes create distinctive patterns that collectors eagerly seek. A major die clash on a 1971 penny could make the coin instantly recognizable and contribute significantly to its desirability. The possibility of discovering a previously unknown clash pattern would only increase interest among researchers and enthusiasts. Broad strikes are equally intriguing. Coins are normally struck within a collar that controls their diameter and shape. If the collar fails to function correctly or is absent entirely, the metal spreads outward during striking, producing a coin larger than intended. Broad-struck coins are popular because they reveal an often overlooked component of the minting process. A beautifully preserved 1971 broadstrike would provide a striking visual reminder of how important the collar is in determining a coin's final appearance. Collectors appreciate such errors because they combine educational value with visual appeal. Clipped planchet errors tell a different story. Before coins are struck, blank discs are punched from metal strips. If the punches overlap, a portion of the blank may be missing. The resulting coin displays a curved or irregular clip along its edge. Authentic clipped planchets are prized because they originated before the coin ever entered the striking chamber. A dramatic clipped planchet from 1971 would attract attention not only because of its rarity but because it illustrates a specific failure during the blanking stage of production. The unusual shape immediately sets it apart from ordinary coins and invites closer examination. Collectors often dream about discovering coins with multiple errors occurring simultaneously. Imagine a 1971 penny displaying strong doubling, an off-center strike, and a significant die crack all on the same piece. Each error alone would be noteworthy, but together they would create an object of exceptional rarity. Such combinations are extraordinarily uncommon because they require several independent mistakes to occur within the same production sequence. Coins exhibiting multiple major errors often become legendary because they challenge assumptions about what is possible during the minting process. Condition is another critical factor that can elevate a coin's status. Most coins enter circulation and gradually accumulate wear, scratches, and other signs of handling. A coin that survives for decades in pristine condition becomes increasingly rare as time passes. Collectors place tremendous importance on preservation because condition affects both visual appeal and market demand. A 1971 cent displaying flawless surfaces, original mint luster, and exceptional strike quality would already be desirable. If that same coin also possessed a major minting error, its appeal could increase dramatically. The intersection of rarity and condition is often where the most celebrated coins emerge. Provenance adds another dimension to a coin's story. Coins with documented ownership histories or connections to significant collections frequently attract additional interest. Imagine a remarkable 1971 cent discovered in a sealed bank bag that remained untouched for decades before being opened by a collector. The story surrounding the discovery could become nearly as important as the coin itself. Collectors enjoy tracing the journeys of extraordinary pieces through time, and provenance can provide valuable context that enhances a coin's significance. Authentication remains essential whenever extraordinary claims are involved. Professional grading services play a crucial role in verifying authenticity and evaluating condition. Their assessments provide confidence to buyers and sellers, ensuring that rare coins receive proper recognition. A hypothetical one-of-a-kind 1971 cent would likely undergo extensive examination before being accepted as genuine. Experts would analyze weight, composition, strike characteristics, die markers, and surface features to confirm its uniqueness. Such scrutiny is necessary because truly exceptional coins often attract. Next, 1982 1-cent coin. Today we are exploring one of the most astonishing and captivating coin collecting mysteries ever imagined, a story centered around a 1982 Lincoln 1-cent coin that has fascinated treasure hunters, collectors, and numismatic enthusiasts because of the incredible possibilities hidden within a year that already occupies a unique place in American coin history. Imagine sorting through a container of old pennies collected over decades, expecting to find nothing more than ordinary pocket change, when suddenly one coin stands out from all the rest. It looks familiar, yet something about it seems different. Perhaps the color is unusual, perhaps the weight does not match expectations, perhaps the lettering appears strange, or perhaps a closer examination reveals features that should not exist on a normal coin. The excitement begins with a simple question: what if this ordinary-looking 1982 penny is actually something extraordinary? Coin collecting has always been fueled by the possibility that hidden treasures remain undiscovered, and few years inspire as much curiosity as 1982 because it was a year of major transition in cent production. Collectors know that 1982 was the year when the composition of the Lincoln cent changed, creating a fascinating landscape of varieties, errors, and possibilities. This unique historical context makes the year especially intriguing because unusual combinations of characteristics could theoretically create some of the most remarkable collectibles imaginable. To understand why a hypothetical 1982 penny might inspire dreams of incredible value, it is important to understand what made that year so special. For decades Lincoln cents had been struck primarily from a copper-based alloy, giving them a certain weight and appearance. During 1982 the United States Mint transitioned to a zinc core with a thin copper coating, resulting in a lighter coin. Because both compositions were produced during the same year, collectors already pay close attention to 1982 cents, examining weight, design details, mint marks, and other characteristics. This transitional environment created opportunities for unusual combinations, production mistakes, and unexpected outcomes. Whenever a major manufacturing change occurs, collectors become alert because history has shown that transitions sometimes produce rare and valuable anomalies. Imagine a 1982 cent created under circumstances unlike any other known example. Perhaps it was struck using dies intended for one variety but paired with a planchet intended for another. Perhaps it displays characteristics that should never appear together. Perhaps it survived in pristine condition while simultaneously exhibiting multiple minting errors. These possibilities are the foundation of countless collector dreams because rarity often emerges when normal expectations are broken. One of the most celebrated categories of coin errors is the double die. During the die creation process, if the design is impressed more than once in slightly different positions, visible doubling can appear on the finished die. Every coin struck by that die carries the same characteristics. Strong double dies are among the most famous and valuable varieties in American numismatics because the doubling can often be seen without magnification. Letters appear duplicated, numbers seem split, and design elements show unmistakable separation. A hypothetical 1982 penny with a dramatic and previously unknown double die could instantly become one of the most important discoveries in modern coin collecting. Collectors would analyze every detail, comparing it with known varieties and documenting its unique characteristics. The excitement generated by such a discovery would spread quickly through the numismatic community. Another possibility involves an off-center strike. Coins are designed to be struck with perfect alignment, but occasionally a planchet enters the striking chamber in the wrong position. When this happens, only part of the design appears on the finished coin. Off-center strikes are visually dramatic because they provide immediate evidence that something unusual occurred during production. Collectors particularly value examples where the date remains visible because the coin can still be identified while displaying a substantial error. A spectacular 1982 penny struck far off-center while retaining critical details would be a remarkable collectible. The visual impact alone would make it highly desirable among error coin enthusiasts. Wrong planchet errors represent another fascinating avenue of rarity. Every denomination is intended to be struck on a specific type of blank. If a blank intended for another denomination accidentally enters the cent production line, the resulting coin may have unusual dimensions, weight, or appearance. These errors require multiple failures in quality control and are therefore highly sought after. A 1982 penny struck on an incorrect planchet would immediately attract attention because it would challenge expectations regarding what a cent should look and feel like. Specialists would carefully study such a piece to understand how the error occurred and to verify its authenticity. Die cracks offer another glimpse into the realities of coin production. As dies strike thousands or even millions of coins, they endure tremendous stress. Over time, cracks can develop and eventually become visible on struck coins as raised lines. Some cracks remain minor while others grow into dramatic patterns that transform the appearance of the coin. In extreme cases, portions of the die break away entirely, creating large raised features known as cuts. A unique 1982 cent displaying an extraordinary die break unlike any previously recorded example would attract significant interest because it would document a rare stage in the life of a working die. Collectors often appreciate such coins because they provide direct evidence of the forces involved in minting. Die clashes are equally intriguing. When dies strike each other without a planchet between them, portions of one design can transfer to the opposing die. Subsequent coins then display unusual marks and design fragments that should not normally be present. Strong die clashes create distinctive patterns that experienced collectors recognize immediately. A major die clash on a 1982 cent could become a celebrated variety, especially if the transferred elements are dramatic and easily visible. Such a coin would tell a story about a specific moment in the minting process when normal operations were interrupted by an unexpected event. Broad strikes also capture collector attention. Coins are normally struck within a collar that determines their final diameter and shape. If the collar is missing or fails to function correctly, the metal spreads outward during striking, producing a coin that appears larger than normal. Broad-struck coins reveal an important part of the manufacturing process and are often prized for their unusual appearance. A pristine 1982 broadstrike would be especially appealing because it would combine visual drama with historical significance. Clipped planchets provide another example of how errors can arise before a coin is even struck. During blank production, overlapping punches can remove part of a future planchet, creating a curved or irregular missing section. When such a blank is struck, the resulting coin displays a distinctive clip. Authentic clipped planchet errors are highly collectible because they represent a mistake that occurred during the earliest stages of production. A dramatic 1982 clipped planchet could become a standout piece in an error collection due to its unusual shape and compelling origin story. Some of the most exciting discoveries involve coins displaying multiple errors simultaneously. Imagine a 1982 cent featuring a doubled die, a die crack, and an off-center strike all at once. Each characteristic would already be noteworthy on its own, but together they would create a rarity of extraordinary significance. The likelihood of several independent errors appearing on the same coin is extremely low, which is why collectors become so fascinated by such pieces. They represent a convergence of unusual events that may never be repeated. The condition of a coin can be just as important as the error itself. Most coins circulate extensively and acquire wear over time. Finding an older coin in near-perfect condition becomes increasingly difficult with each passing year. A 1982 penny preserved with blazing original luster, sharp details, and virtually flawless surfaces would already be desirable. If such a coin also possessed a major error or unique characteristic, its appeal could increase dramatically. Collectors recognize that rarity of condition and rarity of production often work together to create truly exceptional pieces. Provenance can further enhance a coin's mystique. A remarkable coin discovered in a sealed bank bag, an untouched collection, or a historically significant hoard often attracts additional attention because its story becomes part of its identity. Collectors enjoy tracing the journeys of important coins and understanding how they survived through the decades. A hypothetical legendary 1982 penny with a well-documented history would be even more compelling because its narrative would add depth to its rarity. Authentication plays a critical role whenever extraordinary discoveries are made. Professional grading services carefully evaluate coins to verify authenticity, identify varieties, and assign condition grades. Their expertise helps establish confidence within the marketplace. A unique 1982 cent would likely undergo extensive analysis involving precise measurements. Next, 1984 D1 cent coin. Today we are exploring one of the most fascinating coin collecting legends imaginable, a story centered around a mysterious 1984 D Lincoln 1 cent coin that has captured the imagination of collectors, treasure hunters, and numismatic enthusiasts who dream of discovering a coin so unusual, so rare, and so extraordinary that it could become one of the most talked about collectibles in history. Imagine opening an old coin jar that has been sitting untouched for decades, pouring hundreds of pennies onto a table, and noticing one coin that appears slightly different from the rest. At first glance it looks like a normal 1984 D cent from the Denver Mint, a coin that millions of Americans may have carried in their pockets at some point. Yet the history of coin collecting teaches us that appearances can be deceptive. Some of the most remarkable discoveries in numismatics have involved coins that seemed ordinary until a closer inspection revealed a hidden rarity, a dramatic minting mistake, or a combination of unusual characteristics that transformed an everyday coin into an object of fascination. The appeal of a hypothetical ultra-valuable 1984 D penny lies in the possibility that a unique sequence of events during production created something unlike any other coin known to exist. Every coin begins its journey as a blank metal disc known as a planchet. This planchet travels through a carefully controlled manufacturing process before receiving its design under tremendous pressure. Although the minting process is highly sophisticated, no industrial system is entirely immune to mistakes. Over the years collectors have uncovered coins displaying double dies, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, die cracks, die clashes, wrong planchet errors, broad strikes, and countless other unusual features. These mistakes provide a glimpse behind the scenes of coin production and often become highly sought-after collectibles. The dream surrounding a legendary 1984 D penny begins with the possibility that one coin might combine several extraordinary characteristics into a single unique specimen. One of the most exciting possibilities involves the famous double die error. During die creation, if the design is impressed into the die more than once in slightly different positions, visible doubling may appear on the finished coin struck by that die. Collectors search tirelessly for double dies because strong examples can be identified through obvious duplication of letters, numbers, and design elements. Imagine a hypothetical 1984 D cent with dramatic doubling visible across Lincoln's portrait, the date, and portions of the inscriptions. Such a coin would immediately attract attention because it would stand apart from ordinary examples. Specialists would examine every detail, compare it with known varieties, and attempt to determine whether it represented a previously undiscovered major variety. Another possibility involves an off-center strike. Coins are intended to be struck with perfect alignment, but occasionally a planchet enters the striking chamber in the wrong position. When this happens, only part of the design appears on the coin. Off-center strikes can range from minor shifts to dramatic errors where a large portion of the design is missing. Collectors often prize examples that retain a visible date because the coin can still be identified while displaying a significant minting mistake. A spectacularly off-center 1984 D penny would be visually striking and immediately recognizable as something unusual. Such a coin would tell a story about a specific moment during production when normal procedures failed, creating an object that was never supposed to exist. Wrong planchet errors offer another fascinating possibility. Every denomination is designed to be struck on a specific type of blank. If a planchet intended for another denomination accidentally enters the cent production line, the resulting coin may display unexpected weight, size, or appearance. These errors are highly prized because they require multiple stages of quality control to fail before the coin can be produced and released. A hypothetical 1984 D cent struck on an incorrect planchet could become one of the most intriguing discoveries in modern numismatics. Experts would study its composition, dimensions, and characteristics to understand how such a mistake occurred and whether it represented a unique event. Die cracks are another source of collector fascination. As dies strike thousands upon thousands of coins, they endure tremendous pressure. Over time, small fractures may develop and eventually appear on coins as raised lines. Some die cracks remain minor while others evolve into dramatic patterns that alter the appearance of the coin. In extreme cases, portions of a die can break away entirely, producing large raised features known as cuts. A remarkable 1984 D penny featuring a massive die break could attract significant interest because it would preserve evidence of a die nearing the end of its working life. Collectors appreciate such coins because they provide a direct connection to the manufacturing process. Die clashes represent another category of unusual errors. These occur when the obverse and reverse dies strike each other without a planchet between them. The collision can transfer portions of one design onto the opposing die, creating unexpected marks on future coins. Strong die clashes are especially popular among specialists because they produce distinctive features that should not normally exist. A dramatic die clash on a 1984 D cent could become famous among collectors if the transferred design elements were particularly visible and unusual. Broad strikes are equally interesting. Coins are normally struck within a collar that controls their diameter and shape. If the collar is absent or malfunctioning, the metal spreads outward during striking, resulting in a coin larger than intended. Broad-struck coins reveal an important aspect of minting technology and often possess a unique appearance that appeals to collectors. A pristine 1984 D broadstrike would combine visual appeal with historical significance, making it a desirable addition to any collection focused on mint errors. Clipped planchet errors tell a different story about how mistakes can occur before striking even begins. During blank production, circular punches remove planchets from large metal strips. If the punches overlap, part of a planchet may be missing before it ever reaches the striking press. The resulting coin displays a curved or irregular clip along its edge. Collectors enjoy clipped planchets because they illustrate an error originating during the earliest stages of production. A dramatic clipped planchet from 1984 D could become highly desirable due to its unusual appearance and educational value. Some of the most celebrated coins in numismatics feature multiple errors simultaneously. Imagine a 1984 D cent displaying a double die, a significant die crack, and an off-center strike all on the same coin. Each characteristic would already be notable on its own, but together they would create a level of rarity that few collectors ever encounter. Such combinations are exceptionally uncommon because they require several independent events to occur within the same production sequence. A coin exhibiting multiple major errors would likely become the subject of extensive research and discussion throughout the numismatic community. Condition plays a critical role in determining collector interest. Most coins enter circulation and accumulate wear through everyday use. Finding an older coin in exceptional condition becomes increasingly difficult as time passes. A 1984 D cent preserved with original mint luster, sharp details, and minimal imperfections would already be considered desirable. If that same coin also displayed a major error or unique variety, its appeal could increase dramatically. Collectors recognize that rarity of condition can be just as important as rarity of production. The combination of both factors often creates the most celebrated collectibles. Provenance adds another layer of intrigue. A remarkable coin discovered in a sealed mint bag, a long-forgotten bankroll, or a carefully preserved family collection often attracts additional attention because its story becomes part of its identity. Collectors enjoy learning how important coins survived through the years and eventually came to light. A hypothetical legendary 1984 D penny with a documented history of discovery would be even more fascinating because its journey would contribute to its mystique. Authentication is essential whenever extraordinary claims are involved. Professional grading services examine coins to verify authenticity, assign condition grades, and identify varieties. Their expertise helps establish confidence within the marketplace and ensures that important discoveries receive proper recognition. A unique 1984 D cent would likely undergo extensive testing and analysis before being accepted as genuine. Experts would study die markers, weight, composition, strike characteristics, and surface features to confirm its status. Such careful examination is necessary because truly exceptional coins often challenge existing assumptions and require substantial evidence to support their significance. The psychology of collecting also helps explain why rare coins generate such enthusiasm. Collectors are drawn to objects that combine scarcity, beauty, history, and mystery. A unique 1984 D penny would embody all of these qualities. It would represent a tangible connection to a specific moment in American coin production while simultaneously serving as evidence of a next 1981 D 1-cent coin. Today we are diving into one of the most incredible coin collecting stories ever imagined, a fascinating tale centered around a mysterious 1981 D Lincoln 1-cent coin that has become the subject of endless speculation among collectors, treasure hunters, and numismatic enthusiasts who dream of discovering a coin so rare and so extraordinary that it could completely change the way people think about pocket change. Imagine finding an old container filled with pennies collected over decades, perhaps stored away in an attic, forgotten inside a family safe, or tucked into the back of a closet where no one had looked for years. As you sort through hundreds or even thousands of coins, one particular 1981 D cent catches your attention. At first glance it appears ordinary, just another penny produced at the Denver Mint during a year when millions of Lincoln cents entered circulation. Yet something about it seems different. Maybe the strike appears unusual, maybe the lettering looks strange, maybe the surface reveals characteristics unlike any other coin nearby. For experienced collectors, such moments are the beginning of a mystery, because history has repeatedly proven that some of the most remarkable numismatic discoveries started with a simple observation that a coin looked slightly different from the rest. Coin collecting is built upon the pursuit of rarity, and rarity often emerges from mistakes, accidents, and unusual circumstances that occur during the minting process. Every coin begins as a blank metal disc called a planchet. These planchets are carefully manufactured, inspected, and prepared before being fed into powerful presses where dies strike the designs onto their surfaces. The process is designed to produce consistent results, yet no manufacturing system is perfect. Occasionally something unexpected happens. A die may develop a crack. A planchet may enter the press improperly positioned. A wrong blank may reach the striking chamber. A mechanical malfunction may alter the appearance of the coin. When such events occur, they can create pieces that stand apart from the millions of normal examples produced during the same year. Collectors treasure these unusual coins because they provide evidence of a specific moment when something went wrong, transforming an ordinary object into a fascinating artifact. One of the most famous categories of mint errors is the doubled die. During the process of creating dies, slight misalignments can sometimes occur, resulting in designs that appear doubled. The letters, numbers, and other elements may show clear separation that is visible under magnification and, in dramatic cases, even to the naked eye. Collectors eagerly search for doubled dies because they represent one of the most recognizable and desirable varieties in coin collecting. Imagine a hypothetical 1981 D penny displaying extraordinary doubling across the date, inscriptions, and Lincoln's portrait. Such a coin would immediately capture attention because it would be unlike ordinary examples. Researchers would study the doubling carefully, comparing it to known varieties and determining whether it represented a previously undiscovered die. The excitement surrounding such a discovery would spread rapidly throughout the numismatic community. Another possibility involves an off-center strike. During normal production, planchets must be perfectly aligned between the dies. If a planchet is out of position when struck, only part of the design appears on the finished coin. Off-center strikes are among the most visually dramatic errors because they provide unmistakable evidence of a minting mistake. Collectors often prefer examples where the date remains visible while a significant portion of the design is missing. A spectacular off-center 1981 D cent would attract immediate interest because it combines rarity with striking visual appeal. The coin would tell a story about a precise moment during production when the normal sequence of operations was interrupted, producing an object never intended to exist. Wrong planchet errors are equally fascinating. Every denomination is intended to be struck on a specific type of blank. If a blank from another denomination accidentally enters the cent production line, the resulting coin may display unusual weight, size, thickness, or appearance. Such errors require multiple failures in quality control, making them particularly desirable among collectors. A hypothetical 1981 descent struck on an incorrect planchet would become the focus of intense study. Experts would analyze its dimensions, composition, and characteristics to understand how such an unusual event occurred. The rarity of wrong planchet errors often makes them among the most sought-after coins in any collection. Die cracks provide another source of excitement. As coin dies strike countless planchets under immense pressure, they gradually wear and sometimes develop fractures. These cracks appear on coins as raised lines because metal flows into the damaged areas of the die during striking. Some die cracks remain small and subtle, while others expand into dramatic patterns that significantly alter the appearance of the coin. In extreme cases, portions of the die may break away entirely, creating large raised features known as cuts. A unique 1981D penny displaying an extraordinary die break could become highly desirable because it would preserve evidence of a die nearing the end of its service life. Collectors often appreciate such pieces because they reveal the hidden stresses involved in coin production. Die clashes offer yet another intriguing possibility. A die clash occurs when the obverse and reverse dies strike each other without a planchet between them. This collision can transfer portions of one design onto the opposing die, resulting in unusual marks on subsequent coins. Strong die clashes are especially popular because they create features that should not normally be present. A dramatic die clash on a 1981 descent could become a celebrated variety if the transferred design elements were particularly visible. Such a coin would provide a fascinating glimpse into an unusual moment within the minting process. Broad strikes are also highly collectible. Coins are normally struck within a collar that controls their diameter and shape. If the collar fails or is absent, the metal spreads outward during striking, creating a coin larger than intended. Broad-struck coins possess a distinctive appearance that immediately separates them from ordinary examples. A pristine 1981D broadstrike would be a remarkable collectible because it demonstrates an important aspect of coin production while maintaining strong visual appeal. Clipped planchet errors originate even earlier in the manufacturing process. Before coins are struck, circular blanks are punched from large metal strips. Occasionally the punches overlap, leaving part of a planchet missing. When such a blank is struck, the resulting coin displays a curved clip along its edge. Authentic clipped planchets are popular among collectors because they clearly illustrate an error that occurred before striking began. A dramatic clipped planchet from 1981D would attract attention due to both its unusual appearance and its educational value. Some of the most extraordinary coins are those that combine multiple errors. Imagine a 1981 descent featuring strong doubling, a significant die crack, and a partial off-center strike simultaneously. Each characteristic alone would already be notable, but together they would create an exceptional rarity. The probability of several independent errors occurring on the same coin is extremely low, making such pieces especially fascinating. Collectors often regard multi-error coins as among the most impressive examples of minting anomalies because they represent a convergence of unusual events. Condition is another critical factor in determining desirability. Most coins enter circulation and gradually acquire wear from handling and use. Finding an older coin preserved in exceptional condition becomes increasingly difficult over time. A 1981 descent with original mint luster, razor-sharp details, and minimal imperfections would already be desirable. If that same coin also possessed a dramatic error or unique variety, its appeal could increase dramatically. The combination of rarity and preservation often creates the most celebrated collectibles in the hobby. Provenance adds an additional layer of intrigue. A remarkable coin discovered in a sealed mint bag, an old bankroll, or a carefully preserved collection often generates more interest because its history contributes to its identity. Collectors enjoy tracing the journeys of important coins and understanding how they survived through the decades. A hypothetical legendary 1981D penny with a documented discovery story would become even more fascinating because the narrative surrounding the coin would enhance its appeal. Authentication is essential whenever extraordinary claims arise. Professional grading services examine coins to verify authenticity, assign condition grades, and identify varieties. Their expertise helps establish confidence in the marketplace and ensures that significant discoveries receive proper recognition. A unique 1981 cent would likely undergo extensive analysis involving measurements, composition studies, die comparisons, and detailed examinations of its surfaces. Such scrutiny is necessary because truly remarkable coins often challenge existing knowledge and require substantial evidence to support their significance. The enduring appeal of coin collecting comes from the possibility of discovery. Next 2002 1 cent coin. Today we are diving into one of the most incredible coin collecting mysteries ever imagined, a fascinating story that revolves around a seemingly ordinary 2002 Lincoln 1 cent coin that has become the center of endless speculation among collectors, treasure hunters, and numismatic enthusiasts who dream of discovering a coin so rare and unusual that it could become one of the greatest finds in the history of coin collecting. Imagine reaching into a jar of loose change, sorting through hundreds of pennies that have accumulated over years of everyday transactions, and noticing a single coin that appears slightly different from the others. At first glance it seems like an ordinary 2002 penny struck at the Denver Mint, one of millions produced during that year. Most people would never give it a second look, yet experienced collectors know that some of the most valuable and fascinating coins ever discovered began their journey as unnoticed pieces of pocket change. The world of numismatics is filled with stories of rare minting mistakes, unusual production errors, and hidden varieties that transformed common coins into legendary treasures. The appeal of a hypothetical ultra-valuable 2002 penny lies in the possibility that an extraordinary combination of circumstances occurred during production, creating a coin unlike any other known example. Every coin begins life as a blank metal disc known as a planchet. Before it becomes a coin, the planchet is carefully manufactured, inspected, and prepared for striking. Once it enters the coining press, powerful dies impress the design onto its surface under immense pressure. The process is highly controlled, but even the most sophisticated manufacturing systems are not immune to mistakes. Occasionally unusual events occur, resulting in coins that display characteristics never intended by the mint. These unexpected outcomes become the foundation of some of the most exciting discoveries in coin collecting. Collectors are fascinated by such coins because they reveal the hidden side of production, showing what happens when something goes wrong in a process designed for precision. One of the most celebrated categories of minting anomalies is the double die error. During die creation, if the design is impressed into the die more than once at slightly different positions, visible doubling can occur. The resulting coins may display duplicated letters, numbers, or design elements. Strong double dies are among the most sought-after varieties in American numismatics because they are often easy to recognize and can be extremely rare. Imagine a hypothetical 2002 penny displaying dramatic doubling across the date, the inscriptions, and portions of Lincoln's portrait. Such a coin would immediately attract attention from collectors around the world. Researchers would examine every detail, comparing it with known varieties and attempting to determine whether it represented a previously undiscovered major die variety. The excitement generated by such a find would spread rapidly throughout the hobby. Another possibility involves an off-center strike. Coins are designed to be struck with perfect alignment, but occasionally a planchet enters the press incorrectly positioned. When this happens, only part of the design appears on the finished coin. Off-center strikes are highly collectible because they provide visible evidence of a production error. Collectors particularly value examples that retain the date while displaying a significant displacement of the design. A dramatic off-center 2002 penny would instantly stand apart from ordinary examples. Its unusual appearance would make it an ideal conversation piece and a prized addition to an advanced error collection. Wrong planchet errors represent another fascinating possibility. Each denomination is intended to be struck on a specific type of blank. If a planchet meant for another denomination accidentally enters the cent production line, the resulting coin may have unusual dimensions, weight, thickness, or color. Such errors require multiple failures in quality control and are therefore considered highly significant. A hypothetical 2002 cent struck on an incorrect planchet could become one of the most intriguing discoveries in modern numismatics. Experts would study its composition, compare it with known examples, and attempt to reconstruct the sequence of events that allowed the mistake to occur. The rarity and mystery surrounding such an error would make it highly desirable among collectors. Die cracks are another source of collector fascination. Coin dies endure enormous pressure during production and eventually develop signs of wear. Small fractures may form and gradually expand, creating raised lines on struck coins. Some die cracks remain subtle while others become dramatic features that significantly alter the appearance of the coin. In extreme cases, portions of the die may break away entirely, creating large raised areas known as cuts. A remarkable 2002 penny featuring a major die break could become famous among specialists because it would preserve evidence of a die in an advanced state of deterioration. Such coins provide valuable insights into the stresses involved in coin production and are often prized for their unique appearance. Die clashes create yet another opportunity for unusual varieties. These occur when the obverse and reverse dies strike each other without a planchet between them. The impact can transfer portions of one design onto the opposing die, resulting in unusual marks on future coins. Strong die clashes can produce fascinating patterns that experienced collectors recognize immediately. A dramatic die clash on a 2002 cent would attract considerable attention because it would reveal an unusual event within the minting process. Such a coin would tell a story about a moment when normal production was interrupted, leaving behind evidence that survived on the finished coin. Broad strikes are equally intriguing. Coins are normally struck within a collar that controls their diameter and shape. If the collar fails or is absent, the metal spreads outward during striking, creating a coin larger than intended. Broad-struck coins possess a distinctive appearance that makes them immediately recognizable. A pristine 2002 broad strike would be highly desirable because it combines visual appeal with educational significance. It would demonstrate an important aspect of minting technology while also serving as a rare collectible. Clipped planchet errors originate before the striking process begins. During blank production, circular punches remove planchets from large sheets of metal. If the punches overlap, part of a future planchet may be missing. When such a blank is struck, the resulting coin displays a curved clip along its edge. Collectors appreciate clipped planchets because they reveal an error that occurred during the earliest stages of production. A dramatic clipped planchet from 2002 would attract attention due to its unusual appearance and the story it tells about the manufacturing process. Some of the most extraordinary coins are those that display multiple errors simultaneously. Imagine a 2002 penny featuring strong doubling, a significant die crack, and an off-center strike all on the same coin. Each error alone would already be noteworthy, but together they would create an exceptionally rare combination. Multi-error coins are highly prized because they represent a convergence of unusual circumstances. The probability of several independent mistakes occurring on the same coin is extremely low, making such pieces among the most fascinating examples in numismatics. Condition is another critical factor in determining desirability. Most coins enter circulation and gradually acquire wear from handling and use. Finding a coin preserved in near-perfect condition becomes increasingly difficult as time passes. A 2002 penny displaying original mint luster, sharp details, and minimal imperfections would already be attractive to collectors. If that same coin also featured a dramatic error or unique variety, its appeal could increase dramatically. The combination of rarity and preservation often creates the most celebrated collectibles in the hobby. Provenance can add even more intrigue. A remarkable coin discovered in a sealed mint bag, a forgotten collection, or an old bank roll often attracts additional attention because its history becomes part of its identity. Collectors enjoy learning how important coins survived through the years and eventually came to light. A hypothetical legendary 2002 penny with a documented discovery story would be even more compelling because the narrative surrounding the coin would enhance its mystique and desirability. Authentication is essential whenever extraordinary discoveries are involved. Professional grading services examine coins to verify authenticity, assign condition grades, and identify varieties. Their expertise provides confidence to buyers and sellers while helping ensure that significant finds receive proper recognition. A unique 2002 cent would likely undergo extensive analysis involving weight measurements, composition testing, die comparisons, and microscopic examination. Such scrutiny is necessary because exceptional coins often challenge existing assumptions and require strong evidence to support their significance. The enduring popularity of Lincoln cents contributes to the excitement surrounding potential discoveries. Because pennies are so common, many people overlook them, yet this familiarity creates opportunities for hidden treasures to remain unnoticed. Every year collectors uncover previously unknown varieties and errors, proving that important. Last 1981 cent coin. Today we are stepping into one of the most fascinating and mysterious stories ever imagined in the world of coin collecting, a story centered around a seemingly ordinary 1980 Lincoln 1-cent coin that has sparked endless speculation among collectors, treasure hunters, and numismatic enthusiasts who dream about discovering a hidden rarity capable of rewriting everything people think they know about pocket change. Imagine opening an old coin jar that has been sitting untouched for decades, perhaps tucked away in the corner of a basement, resting on a dusty shelf in a garage, or forgotten inside a family heirloom chest. Among hundreds or even thousands of ordinary coins sits a single 1980 penny. At first glance it appears completely normal, another copper-colored cent from a year when millions of coins entered circulation throughout the United States. Yet something about this coin seems unusual. Perhaps the strike appears sharper than expected. Perhaps the lettering looks different. Perhaps there is a subtle feature that immediately catches the attention of a trained collector. What begins as a moment of curiosity soon becomes an investigation, and as the details emerge, the coin starts to reveal characteristics that could place it among the most remarkable numismatic discoveries ever imagined. The excitement surrounding a hypothetical ultra-valuable 1980 penny comes from the possibility that a unique chain of events occurred during production, creating a coin unlike any other known example. Coin collecting has always been driven by the pursuit of rarity, and rarity often emerges from unexpected mistakes, unusual circumstances, and extraordinary combinations of characteristics that were never intended to exist. Every coin begins its life as a blank planchet, a carefully manufactured metal disc prepared for striking. These planchets are produced under strict quality controls and transported through a sequence of processes designed to ensure consistency. Once they reach the striking chamber, dies carrying the coin's design impress the image onto the metal with immense pressure. The goal is uniformity, but no industrial process is completely perfect. Over the years collectors have discovered coins struck on the wrong planchets, coins displaying dramatic doubling, coins with off-center strikes, coins affected by die breaks, and coins showing combinations of errors so unusual that experts initially struggled to explain them. These discoveries fuel the imagination because they prove that remarkable things can happen even in highly controlled environments. One of the most famous categories of coin errors is the double die variety. During the process of creating a die, slight misalignments can occasionally occur, resulting in visible doubling on the finished coins. The letters, numbers, and design elements may appear duplicated or shifted, creating a distinctive appearance that collectors eagerly seek. Imagine a hypothetical 1980 cent displaying dramatic doubling throughout the date, the inscriptions, and Lincoln's portrait. Such a coin would immediately attract attention because it would stand apart from ordinary examples. Specialists would carefully examine every detail, comparing it with known varieties and attempting to determine whether it represented a previously undiscovered major die variety. The discovery of such a coin would generate excitement throughout the numismatic community because major double dies often become legendary among collectors. Another possibility involves an off-center strike. Coins are designed to be struck with precise alignment, but if a planchet enters the striking chamber incorrectly positioned, only part of the design appears on the finished coin. Off-center strikes are among the most visually dramatic errors because they provide immediate evidence that something unusual occurred during production. Collectors often prefer examples where the date remains visible while a significant portion of the design is displaced. A spectacular off-center 1980 penny would possess tremendous visual appeal and would instantly distinguish itself from ordinary coins. Such a piece would tell a story about a specific moment in the minting process when normal procedures failed, creating an object that was never intended to exist. Wrong planchet errors represent another fascinating possibility. Every denomination is intended to be struck on a specific type of blank. If a planchet meant for another denomination accidentally enters the cent production line, the resulting coin may display unusual dimensions, weight, thickness, or appearance. These errors require multiple failures in quality control and are therefore considered especially significant. A hypothetical 1980 penny struck on an incorrect planchet would become the subject of intense study among experts. Researchers would analyze its composition, compare its characteristics with known examples, and attempt to reconstruct the sequence of events that allowed such a mistake to occur. The rarity and mystery surrounding wrong planchet errors make them among the most desirable discoveries in coin collecting. Die cracks provide another avenue for extraordinary rarity. Coin dies are subjected to enormous pressure throughout their working lives, and over time small fractures can develop. These fractures appear on coins as raised lines because metal flows into the damaged portions of the die during striking. Some die cracks remain subtle while others expand into dramatic patterns that significantly alter the coin's appearance. In extreme cases, portions of the die may break away entirely, creating large raised features known as cuts. A unique 1980 cent displaying an extraordinary die break could become highly prized because it would preserve evidence of a die nearing the end of its service life. Collectors appreciate such coins because they reveal the hidden stresses involved in the minting process and provide insight into how production equipment behaves under constant pressure. Die clashes create yet another source of fascination. A die clash occurs when the obverse and reverse dies strike each other without a planchet between them. The impact can transfer portions of one design onto the opposing die, leaving unusual marks on future coins. Strong die clashes produce distinctive patterns that experienced collectors recognize immediately. A dramatic die clash on a 1980 penny could become a celebrated variety because it would document a rare and unusual event within the mint. Such a coin would preserve evidence of a moment when normal production was interrupted, leaving behind clues that survived on the finished piece. Broad strikes are equally intriguing. Coins are normally struck within a collar that controls their diameter and shape. If the collar is absent or malfunctioning, the metal spreads outward during striking, creating a coin larger than intended. Broad-struck coins are highly collectible because they demonstrate the importance of the collar in determining a coin's final dimensions. A pristine 1980 broad strike would combine educational significance with visual appeal, making it an especially desirable collectible. Clipped planchet errors originate even earlier in the manufacturing process. Before coins are struck, circular blanks are punched from large metal sheets. If the punches overlap, part of a future planchet may be missing. When such a blank is struck, the resulting coin displays a curved clip along its edge. Collectors enjoy clipped planchets because they reveal an error that occurred before the striking process began. A dramatic clipped planchet from 1980 would attract attention due to its unusual appearance and the insight it provides into coin production. Some of the most extraordinary coins in numismatic history feature multiple errors occurring simultaneously. Imagine a 1980 cent displaying strong doubling, a significant die crack, and an off-center strike all on the same coin. Each characteristic alone would already be notable, but together they would create an exceptional rarity. Multi-error coins are highly sought after because they represent a convergence of unusual events. The probability of several independent errors appearing on the same coin is extremely low, making such pieces among the most fascinating collectibles in the hobby. Condition is another crucial factor in determining desirability. Most coins enter circulation and gradually acquire wear through handling and use. Finding an older coin preserved in exceptional condition becomes increasingly difficult with each passing year. A 1980 penny displaying original mint luster, sharp details, and minimal imperfections would already be attractive to collectors. If that same coin also featured a dramatic error or unique variety, its appeal could increase dramatically. The combination of rarity and preservation often produces the most celebrated collectibles in numismatics. Provenance can add another layer of intrigue. A remarkable coin discovered in a sealed mint bag, an untouched bank roll, or a carefully preserved collection often attracts additional attention because its history becomes part of its identity. Collectors enjoy learning how important coins survived through the decades and eventually came to light. A hypothetical legendary 1980 penny with a documented discovery story would be even more fascinating because the narrative surrounding the coin would contribute to its mystique. Authentication remains essential whenever extraordinary discoveries are involved. Professional grading services examine coins to verify authenticity, identify varieties, and assign condition grades. Their expertise provides confidence within the marketplace and ensures that significant finds receive proper recognition. A unique 1980 cent would likely undergo extensive analysis involving measurements, composition testing, die comparisons, and microscopic examination.